Hi guys, so in this video I'll be looking at how to insert values in an existing node. Okay, so say we have a linked list in place where we have a node. Okay, so we have two nodes, say, and then we have a head, and then we have a tail. Okay, this is node 1, this is node 2. So for our comfort, I'll set the address of this location to be X, this to be Y. Okay. So our head would store the location of our first node, that is X. Okay. This would the first node would store Y, and the location part this would store null, and the tail would be storing the location of our last node. Okay. So basically this is how our diagram would look like. Okay. Now say we have to insert uh, a node. Okay, say first we have to insert the node at the end. Okay, so basically we need to have a node uh, to which the y points to. Okay, this node points to. Okay, let's see how would we implement that. Okay. Okay, so basically now in order to do that I'll create the list again. Okay. Okay, this points to the last, this holds y, this holds x. Okay, x and y. Okay, now this is pointing to null, this is pointing to y. Okay, now say we have to insert a new node at the end. So first we'll create a node. Okay, as simple as that, and we will then put the location part as null here. Okay, this is our first step is creation of the node. Then what we have to do is that we have to make sure that the our existing last node would store the address of the new node. So instead of n, just a second. So instead of n, we'll have z here. Okay. So once we put z here, so it will automatically start pointing to this, and we will change the location of our tail. So instead of this we'll have it as z. So basically it will start pointing to the last node, and this would be the last node now. Okay, so basically first is creating the node, then pointing the last existing node to the new node, and then updating the tail. Okay, this is how we insert the node at the end. Okay, now say we have to insert the node at the say front. Okay, so again we'll have a head, we'll have a tail, we'll have say two nodes. Okay, this is x, this is y, this points to this, and we have a head that points to this, and then we have a tail that points to this. Okay, now for example we have to insert a node at the beginning. So what we'll do, we'll create a node first as before. Okay, now we will the address part of this node would hold the address of the new node. Okay, I mean the first node. Okay, so this will hold x. Okay, and the second step that we have to perform is that this head would start pointing to this node. Say for example this is at w. Okay, so instead of x we'll have w. So this would start pointing to this, and this would start pointing to this. Okay, so this is how we we insert our node at the beginning. So basically first is creating the node, second is start pointing the new node to the existing first node, and then updating the head with the new node address. Okay, this is how we will insert a node in, at the starting. Okay, now say we have to insert the node in somewhere in the middle. Okay, so again we'll have a head, we'll have a tail, we'll have the first node, we'll have the second node, we'll have a third node in this case. Okay, this points to this points to this points to this, and the tail stores the address of this location. Say this is X, this is Y, this is C. Oh, okay, and this is the head that stores address X, this stores Z, this stores Y, this stores Z, this stores null. Okay, now say we have to put a node somewhere in the between, say after Y, between this node and this node. Okay, so as usual we'll create the node first. Fine, we have created a node, say at location A. Now the first thing is that after creating the node, the second thing that we have to do is that we have to traverse through the node till the point we reach Y. Okay, so first step is creating the node, second is traveling through the linked list till Y. Okay, after we have traversed till Y, we will change the address of this node, address part of this node to be A instead of Z. Okay, and this new node holds the location of this node, this very node. Okay, so it is set. So what will happen? This would start pointing to this would start pointing to this. Okay, so basically here it's like any other scenario. We first create the node. Okay, the new thing is that we traverse through the node till the point where we have to insert. We update the node's address part to the new node's address, and the new node's address part to the following node. Okay, yeah, like C. And once done, we have inserted a new node at the end. Okay, so let's look at the implementation of this in Python. So in the last session we had created a linked list in this .py file that I created, and today in this session I will be telling you how to insert a node into an existing linked list. Okay, so for that we will define a function that is by the name of insert node. So this will have self, the node value for which we have to create a node and then insert in the linked list, and then the position at the say the location at which we want to insert the node. So first and foremost we'll check the location at which we want to insert the node. So if the location is at 0, that means that we have to insert the node in the front of the linked list. So what we'll do is we will check if the location is equal to none. Then we will check if the existing linked list is empty or not. If it is empty, we'll update the head to the so we'll create a node 4 say for the new value. Okay, so node value, right? So in case the list is empty, we'll point the head to the node 4 and the self tail to the node 4. Else, what we'll do is that we'll put node 4's next to the current head and would update the self head to the new node 4. Okay, so this way we are inserting the node at the front. Second, elif will check the location to be -1. By -1, what I mean to say that if in case we want to insert the node at the end of the linked list, we'll put the location as -1. Now, on similar lines, we'll check if the linked list is empty or not. If it is so, we'll update the head with node 4 and tail with node 4. else what we'll do is that the node force next would be, okay, so the current tails next would be node 4, and the I'll update the tail value to be node 4. Okay, this way we are inserting the node at the end. If not at the front or at the end, we'll try to insert it in somewhere in the middle. Okay, so for that we have to traverse till the node that is previous to the location. Okay. For example, if you have to insert at the third location, we'll traverse till second location, and from there we'll insert the node into the linked list. Okay, so for that, what I'll do is that again in this case we will check if the node is empty or not. Okay, if it is so, the new node, that is node 4, would be inserted both as the tail and head. Now else we'll create a variable that would be initialized with the head, and we'll create an index as well that would be initialized with 0. So we'll put a loop with the with the condition that index should always be less than location minus. So location is the place where we want to insert. So what we are doing, we're just going to traverse to the location -1 position. Okay, so now what we'll do is we'll keep on incrementing the first variable and would increment the index value as well with 1. Okay, now once we have reached the node that is previous to the location where we want to insert the new node, we'll have the new nodes next pointing to the current nodes next. Okay, and the first next would point to node 4. So this way we are inserting the node in midway somewhere depending on the location that we put in. After that, once this code is done, now if I run the code, I'll see the old link is getting created that we had created in the last session. Okay. So it would be Python linked list dot. So this was the one that we created in the last session. Now say we want to insert a node somewhere at the middle, say, or just somewhere at let's start with the beginning. Okay, so say we want to insert the node at with the value 0 at the 0th location. Okay, now when we will save this, run this, we will see 0 at the first location. Okay, similarly if we'll just put insert node, the value, and say -1, that is the last location in the linked list. Now we will run, we will see -6 at the end. Sorry, 6 at the end, so -6. Now say we want to insert, so by the way, in the linked list, this location 0, we are starting the indexing with the 0th location. Okay, so say we want to insert a value between 2 and 3. Okay, so what we'll do is insert node, say we want to insert 5 at say location 3. Now I'll save this, we'll run, we'll see 5 between 2 and 3. So this is how we will insert the values in the linked list. So thank you for the session. Thank you for joining.